Hey everybody, IcyCat here, and today we're going to be talking about hit markers. So what's the deal with hit markers? They were this really controversial thing when we first saw them. Why? Because they remind us of Call of Duty kind of gameplay mechanics. That's sort of where we know hit markers from. I'm not sure if Call of Duty was the first game to do it or not, but it's certainly the game that's popularized it and put it in everybody's, kind of the front of their mind, the front of their awareness. And when we saw this, we're like, well, wait a minute. This has never been in a Rainbow Six game before. This is the kind of thing that you can really use an unfair advantage to. And we saw that in the closed alpha. We would watch people shooting through walls and they'd see that little red X pop up. And even though they had no line of sight on what they were shooting at, they knew there was a target on the other side. And so they would just dump their magazine into the wall and get the kill. Or I saw this several times. You'd have somebody hanging upside down on the rappel line and they would shoot from outside the window into the house. And one of the really great things about the engine they have in Rainbow Six is that it differentiates between inside light and outside light. So when you're outside where the light is greater volume and intensity, when you look in, even though it's not dark on the inside from the inside perspective, from the outside perspective, it is. It's all shadowy and dark and you really can't see what's going on. And you would see people kind of firing into this darkness from outside the house. And boom, there would pop that little red X. Oh, must be something there. And they dump their magazine into it and get a kill. And I would watch it and be like, there's no way that person could actually see something that was in there. But it was just the hit markers were kind of allowing them to cheat the system in ways, by shooting through walls or shooting into smoke or debris or, other forms of concealment and darkness in the case that I was just talking about. And it was really allowing people to do kind of unfair things. It was almost like magical knowledge, that there's no way as an operator in the real world you would actually have that knowledge of firing through a wall and knowing your bullet hit somebody that you couldn't see on the other side of it, unless you heard somebody scream out in pain. So they decided, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to compromise with you on this. We're going to take out the enemy hit markers, but we're going to leave in the enemy death hit markers. So you'll still get the red X on a death. It's a good compromise. I do have one concern with it, and that is that with the down but not out system, the target can go down, but not necessarily be dead. And because you didn't see that red X pop up, you're going to know that you need to put some more rounds into the body. And if you're going slowly, you would know this anyway, even without hit markers. If you're moving slow and you're taking your time, you're going to see the animation change between a dead body versus a body that's kind of propped up on its elbow and scooting around. You're going to notice that. But if you're going fast, if you're trying to, move from one room to the other and go get the objective or go get the next guy and you're moving too fast, you might not notice that difference between propped up on an elbow and actually completely dead. And that red X death marker kind of gives you that knowledge that you might have otherwise missed. And I'm a fan of situational awareness in your environment. I think that if you were going too fast, you should pay a penalty in not being aware, being caught by surprise. I think that you should kind of have a certain level of accountability accompany the fact that you weren't paying attention enough. The other thing that kind of accompanies that, and I guess death hit markers are a little redundant, is that when you kill somebody, that big thing comes up and says like 4 versus 3 or 2 versus 5 or, whatever it might be. So in a way, it's not giving you any less information than we would have gotten already. But in another way, I'd rather you didn't have the red hit marker or the pop-up, but I digress on that point. Nonetheless, I'm happy that there aren't the enemy hit markers for just the regular hits, for the wall bangs and the shooting into the darkness and the smoke. I'm happy that those are out, and I'm so pleased that they listened to the feedback on that. They kept in the white hit markers for friendly fire. I'm okay with that. That one I'm not too upset about. It's kind of good to know when, oops, sorry, I thought you were on the other team. I do think that the better way to handle that is just make the team uniforms different colors. Team A is beige, team 2 is blue, or, whatever it might be. I think having that as your visual difference in telling the teams apart would be better. And then if you did engage in some friendly fire, then you weren't paying attention. And so that's kind of you kind of handicap your own team by doing that. So therefore you should be more observant. Again, it comes to situational awareness, but I'm okay with it. That's one side of the coin, but the other side is that. Overall, I'm pleased with what they did with hit markers. The little things that are still in there, not that big of a deal. They really aren't. We're splitting hairs on things when we talk about the death marker or the friendly fire markers. Overall, I am pleased that they listened to our feedback and they said, we hear you guys. Yep, we're seeing some of these exploits in the closed alpha play too. We're going to change that, and I got to tip my hat to them. They did excellent with listening to that and implementing it and taking care of it. So I think that's kind of nothing but good things for them. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching, and go ahead and like and subscribe for more. We'll catch you next time.